I'd like to formally say I'm with you in the sense of this isn't a must-win game today from the standpoint of my version of reality.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it kind of does seem as though, and again, why wouldn't it? Because there's dudes trying to save their jobs. Ross Atkins isn't up there going, well, I tried my best. He's not already shaking hands going, I'll see you guys later. And I talked to Robert Murray earlier this week. He doesn't think it's happening in season, the firing, which is weird because a couple people seem to have different minds when it comes to this, but his is that he would think it's an off-season move. My feeling is that these guys are basically trying to scrap and claw, maintain close-ish to 500, and hope that at some point here in the schedule, they can rip off a nice little winning streak and get close enough to the playoffs, get close enough to a wild card that they could do maybe a little soft buying. You know, like, hey, maybe they add a bullpen arm, maybe they add a depth bat, and that helps them make a push towards the wild card so that they can try to sell seats and sell a little bit of hope and opportunity. No, I know you're rolling your eyes. I'm not saying this is the course of action I want. What I do think is a reality today is if they get shelled again, and you and I are going, although it is a daytime game, that you lose another series to the Baltimore Orioles, which, do you want to know what they are against the Orioles going back to last season? I went to StatMuse yesterday and I punched it all up.
Okay, so they split the two games they played already this season, and because that was a series that was ended early because of the rain, and then last year, okay, so they played 13 games. Didn't they only win? They went 3-10 against them last year. I want to say
they are 13-5 against the Orioles going back to last season. The run differential.
Well, you mean the Orioles are 13-5 against the Blue Jays?
Sorry, if that wasn't. Sorry, was that not clear to anybody?
Well, you said they were 13-5 against the Orioles.
Sorry, I guess. Either way, it's pretty clear. All right, which side of this?
So I was right.
This hasn't been a lopsided affair though, in terms of it's 13-5, but they lost all these tight ball games like yesterday. There's been a couple 3-2s in there actually. Weirdly, between these two teams, I think there's 4 3-2 games, but the runs are 89-49.
Because one team scores them, one team doesn't.
But that's it. But even when you look at basically every component of this Orioles team now, you go, I trust their starting front. Their starting pitching, don't you? More with the Orioles.
More, but I mean they've been good. They've been good. I mean they've
come on. You wouldn't take Rodriguez and you wouldn't take Rodriguez and Corbin Burns over.
Corbin Burns is better than anything.
That's what I'm saying. So you wouldn't take those two guys over. Like, who's even the number 2? Kikuchi at this point, because it's not Gossman.
I mean Barrios. I know that the advanced numbers aren't. I mean, he just keeps getting it done. He's the reigning American League pitcher.
Barrios or Corbin Burns? Who do you want if you're the life on the line?
Corbin Burns.
Right, and then so you're number 2. You're taking Gossman with your life on the line or Rodriguez right now?
Why does it have to be Gossman?
But okay, so you're taking Kikuchi
over Grayson Rodriguez?
Yeah. No. Anyways, moving on.
It's a conversation more than Corbin Burns.
Who cares? They even have more depth at the position at this point. Like, there's just no doubt about that. The prospects.
They've given up the 5th fewest home runs their pitching staff has this season.
The prospects are so night and day, so worlds apart.
You're going to see a guy make his major league debut today.
So worlds apart that to even begin to compare them only brings shame upon your organization. It's like
Spencer Horwitz. I don't know if you've seen the numbers.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about here. And Ricky Tiedemann apparently is throwing baseballs. I saw that Jonah Birnbaum, he tweeted that it's been 3 professional seasons and Ricky Tiedemann doesn't have 150 innings pitched. Like,
we've done the Nate Pearson before.
Hey, guess what? With Ricky Tiedemann, it's over.
I mean, it's not over, but it's
over.
You wouldn't bank on it.
Here's what. No. Maybe his career is not over. For me to believe, if you ever write an article where you're like, and then Ricky Tiedemann, like, you can.
It's the Nate Pearson zone.
The idea that they wouldn't trade him for something is now looking back truly one of the funniest things of all time. And then when it comes to the bats, who wouldn't you trade the Jays for? Like Chicago, and who else?
Offensively? Who has a better offense than the Blue Jays?
All the teams. That's what I'm saying. So to compare Baltimore to Toronto.
Honestly, granted, it was before they won a game in this series. I looked at the Blue Jays as like the power rankings of the American League teams, like this series against the A's is kind of important. If you, because that's kind of the team I think talent wise, you're like, ooh, man, are we better than the A's? That's what you're looking at. Fourth, fifth best team, or fourth or fifth worst team in the American League. You're talking about Oakland A's. Like, again, take the records out of it. Just like what you should expect from this team going forward. That's where this Blue Jays team is.
Yeah, the Jays are now, according to Blake Murphy, fourth all-time in terms of first-inning scoring droughts. The longest first-inning scoring drought. Fourth longest.
Brewers, right?
And by the way, this stat dates back to 1907.
Oh, okay. So I've only seen the one since 2010.
No.
Give me 1907.
Yeah, 1907.
Yeah, give me that. Give me 1907.
Fourth worst in terms of early runs. So
they're really good at scoring in the second inning, though, apparently.
Hey, hell yeah, brother. That's the second. Hey, get it going in the second inning. Either way, you and I last week, we discussed you're on this insane notion that you're pot committed and that you shouldn't be trading the main guys because you think that they should just be in the pivot. You're part of the stay in the middle gang, which is fine.
No, I'm not staying in the middle.
You want to stay in the middle. You like the middle. You like comfort. You're a guy who, let's be honest, you like.
My favorite thing is when you tell me
you like safety.
No,
but you come on. You're a safe. You played safe.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Massive risk taker,
yeah.
No.
That's it. That's why you look at the Jays right now, and if you were with the khakis and the clipboards, you would go, "Let's just run it all back because that's safe."
No, I wouldn't run it all back.
Yeah,
No, I would say that you're too far down the line.
Yeah, okay.
With Vlad and Bo, and unless the return is some astronomical thing, like unless you're getting a Juan Soto, who in their right mind is giving you a Juan Soto package for either one of those guys?
No, I'm saying that at this point, the number one argument for why you strip it down to the studs and why you go back into rebuild land, and you stop with this whole misnomer of, oh, well, it's the pivot, Jays. It's the pivot. Is that 89-49 against the Baltimore Orioles? And say, sorry, that's changing because you're bringing in some prospects for Yimi Garcia and for Yusei Kikuchi. Sorry, that's changing when you come back next year with 3 starting pitchers that are already going to be in their post-prime, because at least Barrios is closer to that than he is in his prime.
God knows this front office is good at evaluating young talent, right? In the draft and prospects.
I got to tell you that's one of the other topics I have for you today is everything always looks bad when they talk about like no splashy free agent really recently. It's like, no, payroll's through the roof. Everybody's pissed off because Vladdy and Bo haven't materialized into being the super duper stars that you were really hoping that they were going to be. But I think that if there's any reason to fire this front office into the sun, and the number one thing where you say pack your bags, Ross Atkins, it's look what you've done with this farm system and how little you've developed and how nothing has ever come up. I saw some tweets of people going, it's not the Jays' fault that they have the opener going here. Like pitching depth isn't the problem with this organization. I'm just saying I saw it. I'm not doing that.
I mean, that's the biggest indictment. You can the offense is the thing that obviously was going to fail this team, and they didn't address. But like, okay, look at the other free agents and how they've performed or haven't performed. And it's like, do you really want to? I mean, they ended up signing contracts that weren't prohibitive, but like Cody Bellinger's not winning an MVP.
No.
Matt Chapman, you did offer him the same deal that he took in San Francisco. Jorge Soler's a brutal. Yeah. Like that would have been an absolute anchor. Okay, Jock Peterson's a guy that's doing well, but like, okay, the real.
No, but all those guys, all those contracts would have been horrible for this team.
Sure. Yeah. The number one thing you can point out with this front office is the most egregious thing they did was not having more starting pitching depth for we started the season essentially with an opener. Bowden Francis was the fifth starter, but the idea that he was going to be a starter and that behind him you had a guy in Uriel Rodriguez who didn't pitch at all last year. You're like, oh, that's our backup plan. Or Ricky Tiedemann, who, like you said, hasn't thrown 100 professional innings.
No, he's literally Mr. Glass.
Paolo Espino,
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's a guy.
You know who Paolo Espino?
He's got an ERA in the 4.5s in Buffalo, and he's like 1 million years old. I think he's been on the Major League roster this year.
He's 1 million?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's the biggest joke of it all. It's a joke.
It is a joke. I just sea legs.
Give me the name.
I'm seeing people say sea legs, but I feel like you get your sea legs is a good thing.
Yeah, that's when you're on the boat. You're like, I feel normal now. I have my sea legs.
Armin says vertigo, but it's like, no. I'm not talking about vertigo. There's another term for this. Like, anyway.
Yeah, it's a French term, actually. I think it's in
Mal d'appartement syndrome.
Yeah. disembarquement. Disembarquement.
Hey, can I tell you something? That's the last time you turn on your mic today. We live in a country, this is a bilingual country. For you to do that in my ear, a guy who went to French immersion, that's it for you today.
Yeah.
C'est tout.
Mal de disembarquement.
Merci.
I think that's right. I knew it was a French term.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the point. The point of all of this is you can't look at this Baltimore series and think that there's any type of move that is going to put you in their stratosphere. And then there isn't. And then you have to also realize that they're not even the team of the division right now.
No, the Yankees have won 7 in a row. They've hit more home runs than the Orioles. It's the only team in baseball that's done that.
I'm with you. I'm with baseball in the sense of, hey, just get in the playoffs because anything can kind of happen. If you were to get on a run, right? We just saw with the Diamondbacks last year, right? It's an 84-win team.
How are you feeling about that trade, by the way? Gabriel Moreno is a win behind Dalton Varsho this season in WAR. He's 0.9, Dalton Varsho 1.9.
I feel the same about it. It was a bad trade. It was a bad trade. Like, you lost last season when, again, you made it into the postseason. You would have had Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who was an all-star, and you signed Kevin Kiermaier. If they would have done the trade and they didn't sign Kiermaier, although Kiermaier was really good offensively last year.
He kind of screwed them being as good as he was.
Yeah, he kind of did.
Where he's like, remember the conversation we were having before last season about how terrifying it was that he's been essentially handed 150, 100, well, he's oft injured and he was coming off hip surgery, but like 130 games in center field. That's what he's been promised. That's a nightmare. This guy's not an offensive bonus or an offensive plus.
I don't want to relitigate this trade every time one guy gets on the hot streak, but what I would say is I don't do the thing where I completely forget what happened the year before. Varsho killed them. Yes. And there was all this stuff about, his defense is like, man. That was nothing to me. I'm sorry. They needed a bat, and he was one of their worst offensive players. And that year, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno were red hot, and they led their team to a World Series. Yep. So the idea that, like, that doesn't count now, to me, is outrageous. That counts. Do I think that right now the Blue Jays are trending in the better direction on that trade? Absolutely.
It's becoming more even.
Yeah, but the idea that now it's like, well, he's having a better year than Moreno. No. It's like, no, that's crazy talk.
I didn't say that, like, the Blue Jays won the trade. It doesn't look as egregious as the guy. It looked like the World Series MVP.
No, but to your credit, you were the one that was always on this of, hey, man, Varsho was horrific last year, but if he's just what he was on the road and he's that at home, then you're looking at a good player. And right now, it's funny. I'm on team strip it down to everything. Like, if you can get something for Vladdy, do it. If you can get something for Bo, do it. I'm not on the just trade them for the sake of trading them for nothing. But that being said, I think you're now at the point where you've got to collect whatever assets you possibly can. And I brought this up with Robert Murray the other day. I'm almost repeating myself, but I just don't see a scenario where you can trade fringy pieces that you can do we're trading Richards and we're trading Kikuchi and we're trading the pending free agents, and then we're going to give Danny Jansen a contract extension, and we're going to come back and we're going to try to sprinkle some money in free agency. Maybe we move off of George Springer, we eat that, and we try to bring some. It's like, no. All that's going to do is make it this team. It's going to make it this team with the others around it. And I just feel the way the market is going right now and the way the fan base feels in general that we can't even enjoy walk-off wins like last night.
No. I felt nothing.
That you need to be a little bit more drastic, that you do need to realize, hey, it's about winning, but it's also about showing that you have some understanding of where the fan base is at. And this is the thing that bothers me about the Leafs right now, too. And this whole idea that they could end up running it back. And I know that there's some people that go, well, what are you supposed to do? It's just, if the Leafs come out next year and they have a start to the season that is dreadful, or the Marner thing goes sideways, they have another playoff exit like this, and he walks away for nothing. I don't think that all of a sudden they're not going to be selling tickets for Leafs games, but I do think that you're starting to do damage to these fan bases. Like, people become apathetic. People aren't as needy of sports as they have been.
The Leafs one's a tougher one because, like, quite factually, Mitch Marner can just say, under no circumstances am I going anywhere. Like, am I accepting any trade? And at that point,
I know, but that's a little overplayed. It really is. It is.
I mean, okay.
No, it is, man. If they wanted to really play hardball, they could get him out of town.
Yeah, make it like super uncomfortable
Yeah.
for him. Like, and if you wanted to lose a trade, for sure, like lose, like, yeah, like there's one thing to like open up the cap space and like get something. There's like, yeah, if you wanted to lose, and it's just like he'll go one spot and that team's got you over a barrel and you get nothing back.
Anyway, it's so funny because people love doing this right now. This is my least favorite thing on social media is people going, some people in Leafland don't seem to understand what a no movement clause is. And you're like, oh, okay, like, thank you.
No, I was
we
just
understand.
comparing it to the Blue Jays situation.
I know. I just want to get back to the Jays. I want to stick with this conversation, which is basically what I'm getting to is the Orioles series to me really does need to serve as the ultimate, hey, stop screwing around. You know, like stop trying to tread water. Stop trying to trick people into thinking that this is a fine baseball team. Like it's right in front of you. It's 89-49 over the last 2 years, and this is the team that's on the upward trajectory. How did they do it? Well, they stripped it down to the studs. Are you going to have the appetite to do that? Probably not. They already kind of did that with a couple of seasons. But it's got to be something drastic to try to get back on the same page with the teams in your division. And plus your competitive timeline, it's not going to fit with these two teams that are at the very top.
Yeah, I mean, also the big fly factor. The Orioles are 7. No, I was just gonna throw it in there.
No, but I do want to talk about it.
But no, the Orioles are just much better. Lots of teams with even worse records than the Blue Jays. Like the Rangers and the Astros have similar records to the Blue Jays this season. Those are teams that I wouldn't wave the white flag on.
No, and
run differential is part of that.
I was
like roster
say that
construction.
The Rays have been bad.
No, the Rays are actually quite bad. Like you dig into the Rays numbers, the Rays are actually really bad.
Yeah,
like,
Rays are bad, but Red
Jays.
Sox are no good. It's
Red Sox pitch though. Like the Red Sox, we thought that would be their major issue, but they pitched. Yeah, no, it's just. I mean, I understand what you're saying, right? Like, hey, there's no quick fix here. That's it. That this team is so rotten to the core that the only way to correct that would be by recouping enough assets and getting enough bullets in the chamber that, yeah, eventually you turn yourself into the Baltimore Orioles. And I would say, like, nothing short of, like, giving the bag to Mike Elias, the Orioles GM. I don't know how you become that. Also, like, if you're doing that, if you're the Blue Jays and you're like, we're waving the white flag. Well, one, you can't keep the same general manager. Can you keep the same president? Like, and what is the relationship between Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins? And I maybe that's not how you should be making your decisions, but who's making the decision above him? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of complications there. I just, to me, you're so far down this path, and you do at least have at your disposal the deep pockets, right? Now you're willing to spend.
Except for you don't, because you have to spend on those two guys.
Yeah.
So you're spending on two guys with OPSs below 800. Like,
for now, Bo will have one north of 800, and Vlad will definitely have one below.
So you say.
Yeah, unless there's
you just said that you have more confidence in IKF than Bo right now. So
today, though,
yeah, sure.
I would have said the same at the beginning of 2022. Guess what? There's nobody in baseball that I would have said that about Bo Bichette by the time August rolled around.
Robert Murray told me too that his contract is impossible to predict.
Oh, you have no idea.
It's like he's the hardest contract to predict in baseball.
It's not only the offense, because like I've been a defender of the defense too, because I was like, oh, you got this incredible offensive player at the most premium position. If he plays average, passable defense, it's what an asset you've got there. And generally he's done that. And he's had slow starts and bounced back defensively. He's still been one of the worst defenders at shortstop this season, which also happened in 2022. And but proof of concept. Yeah. We've seen him have slow starts in both sides of the ball in 2022, and he bounced back by the end of the season.
All right, yeah.
He was incredible by the end of the season. So you got to defer to the player who's done this before.
You're literally Leo in the water holding on. I'm Rose with all the right takes living on the board, and you're like, I think we're both going to live. I'm like, oh yeah, all your takes are good
but
too.
I've already died on this because I was you. I've been you. Like,
what do you mean?
In 2022, I was you. I was like, this guy stinks. Like, he's the number one reason why this team is underperforming.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're saying you don't want to get twice bitten on this.
No.
Okay, yeah.
And all I can do is defer to the sample, and it's huge now, right? Like he's not a 20-year veteran, but like we've got now a pretty good sample of what Bo Bichette is as a baseball player. 2 seasons in which he led the American League in hits. A third, if he didn't get hurt, he would have done the same.
Yeah.
And a guy that we've seen play passable.
This is exactly what I would be saying. This is exactly what I would be saying on the trade call right now with the other teams that you're trying to shop Bo Bichette to.
If you can do that, like the Dodgers are an obvious team.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. And so apparently the Guardians too, according to Jeff Passan, is he said that they
a couple of teams with pretty good history as far as drafting and developing young players.
I am doing it tomorrow, just showing the fan base that that this is way off. If this is way off and that this needs a deep recalibration is awesome. The problem is though, is that again, if you're talking about trading for prospects, do you trust these guys to trade for prospects? These guys that have literally gone over in the draft, like their best draft pick is Alek Manoah.
Correct.
It's like that's their best one.
Hey, Austin Martin was in the major leagues.
Yeah, just they can't identify a prospect to save their lives. You know. What we need a new Mel Didier in this organization. Like we need a new Mel Didier yesterday. It's just
we need Mike Elias. Like I don't know. Dude. I know the Orioles have now financial muscles, so they have new ownership. But wouldn't it be great if you were doing like the Leafs thing, where he's like, I want that guy from your organization.
Yeah,
give me him. Here's $20 million for Mike Elias. He's our GM now.
Okay, so I want to do one quick thing before we break. Actually, two quick things because I want to wrap up the Blue Jays conversation. What is the most disappointing element of the season to you so far? I was thinking about this last night. Like, what is actually where you're like, man, this is a bummer?
Well, I mean, is it a cop out to say the offense? It's just like
no. It's just but like specifically because the offense does stink. I guess you're right. Maybe you can just lump it in all together. But
I mean, if we're gonna be specific, it is that hey, this was a big bank on the core, and 50% of it has shown up, and the 50% that showed up in a way that a first baseman's not supposed to necessarily make their offensive bones, and that, I wish. What if Bo Bichette was the like if you got the large 6-month sample Bo Bichette? What if you got like the average version of that in these 2 months? I'm not saying that the Blue Jays are like at the top of the American League East, but they're certainly better than what they've shown. That's the biggest disappointment. It's like not knowing. Like, and Ross Atkins, if I was going to, like, play the role of Ross Atkins today, I'd be like, guys, I know it looks bad, and we look like morons because we banked on the core. But like,
if these two guys honestly, were studs, it would be kind of okay.
I know, like, what else were we supposed to do? We're kind of stuck. Like, again, look at the available guys, and,
I think what you were supposed to do is what I said, which was last offseason, I wanted them to trade Vladimir Bo. I've been on the Vladimir Bo trade scenario for a while. Like, this isn't, I'm not being reactionary to this. I've said this. I went into all last season. I've been saying this to baseball people who've gone, I don't think it's the worst case scenario to let one of these guys walk for free. And I'm like, no, man, you need to recoup things. I would be fine with that if they were in the position that is, they've got all these free agents and they use these dudes as own rentals these prospects, but they don't. Like, it just, to me, nothing has been more obvious than they've needed a new injection of something. And again, they stuck with this front office, they stuck with Atkins, and they stuck with the smartest guy in the room crew. And this is what they get. Like, this is what you reap what you sow. And this organization, like, it's about as bad as you look around baseball as any in the entire sport, especially given that, like, you can't even really sell people on hope. The only jersey, did you see the City Connect thing?
What, the jersey?
Yeah, the only guy that's selling is Davis Schneider. Like, how is that not an indicator to you of the Vladdy and Bo era is done? Yeah. Like, how is that not something? And I know that's a very small thing. It's a one photo. But you go to the game, it's true, man. People love Davis Schneider. Yeah. They really love him. You nailed it. Ben Ennis.
Got it.
Real great take. Really great take. Ennis is the first guy.
It was not easy. It was not easy.
You're the guy.
I had to stare down Joe Siddle and have him laugh in my face.
Shy.
Yeah,
you said you stared him down. You stared down multiple people who've laughed in your face about this. I'll tell you this. You are basically the guy who took that Bitcoin for that guy's pizza.
Oh my God! Yeah,
you know that guy who was like, "I'll give you these 2 whole Bitcoins for 2 pizzas." You're the guy who got the Bitcoin.
Yeah, and he's eating his $120,000 pizza.
No, it's more than that. It's more than that. But
sorry, 140.
Yeah. Right. So anyway,
not that I know.
So no, he got 2 whole Bitcoins.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyway,
$140,000 US.
Yeah. So anyways, that's you with David Schneider. But yeah, I saw that picture. It was the City Connect jerseys, and they had the empty rack. And maybe they were just restocking it. I don't know for sure. They didn't do investigative reporting on this. But there is a photo of it, and it sure does feel like out of the entire Blue Jays roster, the only super popular guy is Davis Schneider. People should be more stoked on Dalton Varsho because he is a fun player and he's a good player.
He's got his flaws. Him for what he is.
Yeah, exactly. He's got his flaws.
Like maybe the best defender in the outfield in Major League Baseball, and a guy that has power can run into one, and not a ton else. Like, he hit 26 home runs, right? In
He'll have some
2022 with
horrific
Arizona.
strikeouts that you look at and you're like, oh my God, that was so bad. But, you know, he's got some pop. I like Varsho a lot. He's great defensively. You love him when he's on the bases. And he, other than, weirdly, I'd like to know what his stolen base attempts to, like, he's weirdly, for a guy that you think is super fast and athletic, whenever he tries to steal, I'm like, out.
Yeah.
I mean,
George Springer is weirdly like the only guy that can steal bases on this team.
Anyway, they made the bases bigger, though. Everybody's going to steal now. And Dalton Varshaw's like, I can't get one. I can't even get close to one. Vlad and Bo, I'm sure there are kids that still love Vladdy and Bo because that's what I'm saying, is because you show them to kids. But I don't think adults who like the Jays feel super connected to either of those guys anymore. And I would say that that's part of the reason why you should move off of them, is that dudes don't want to go and, if you're going to a baseball game now and you don't want to, because you get that revenue, right? When you buy the stadium in-house, or sorry, the jersey in the stadium. I just don't, I can't imagine who's buying Vladdy and Bo jerseys right now. Like, I just, if my friend came out of the pro shop and was like, I bought this new Vladdy jersey, I'd be like, well, okay. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best argument.
I got to talk about one other thing, too, and that's the last thing.
Okay.
You know what he did, Armin?
No.
Okay, finish your thought, and I'll get into it.
I was going to say that's the best argument against, like, the counter argument to trading one of those guys. It's like, what an indication to the fan base. You just redid the ballpark, and you're going to tell them that you're faces of the franchise. You're shipping out of town for some prospects that they've never heard of.
Nobody cares about them.
I'm of that belief. It's like, what kind of historical equity do you have? Like, all we know of these guys is, okay, some good regular season moments, but in the playoffs, they haven't won a game. And the most notable moment
They're basically moments where Vladdy had an amazing season, and most of it wasn't done here.
Yeah.
And Bo had an incredible month.
I'm Mr. Negative, so the two moments I think about is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. being picked off second base.
Yep.
First time in the playoffs in Blue Jays franchise history, with Bo Bichette at the plate and him representing the tying run in a playoff game against the Minnesota Twins. And Bo Bichette running into George Springer in center field as part of one of the biggest postseason collapses in franchise history against the Seattle Mariners in a game in which Teoscar Hernandez hit 2 home runs. So those are two lasting images of those fellas in the most important time of the season.
What's the greatest Vladdy moment?
I think of the Garrett Cole game. Remember, he had like 4 hits off Garrett Cole, including a home run, and Garrett Cole tipping the cap to him. That was, I mean, obviously before he ever played a major league game, hitting the home run in Montreal.
That's what I wanted you to say, is like, I still think that the best Vladdy moment is at the O.
I mean, we were there for his first major league hit. That was kind of cool.
It was, but I'm just saying that
no,
moment,
he has no moments of significance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that this is over the entire tenure. Anyway, I'm just, I don't think there's a lot to fret over. That's my number one argument for these guys. That would be my number one argument to the front office, is just simply, hey, you know, you're worried about maybe some people that don't want to show up to the ballpark or buy tickets because they don't have Vladdy or Bo. No, they're still going to show up. If you're selling hope and you're selling accountability, if you're selling that there's a pivot, you're actually going to get more leeway from the fan base right now than the other way around. And I do feel as though some organizations miss this, because they look at it and go, no, like it's better to be competitive, right? Don't you want us to have wins? It's like, we don't need that. A lot of the Rogers Center experience right now is you go down and you have fun, like you and I are going down today, where it's like you're having a beer with your friend in the sun.
There's a bonus. Listen, you'd prefer it to be the other way, where every game has stakes, but there is something like freeing about going to a ballpark.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, it's just about watching the crack of the bat.
Yeah, exactly. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters. They just, friends.
Oh, hey, there's a baseball game happening here.
Start your bachelor party down here on the day game on a Saturday. That's actually a dreadful move, by the way. I do think that when you start the bachelor party, like drinking at the Jays game during the day. That. Yeah, that's how you lose soldiers.
I didn't make it.
Yeah. No, it seems like a good idea, but it's not. It's really not a good idea.
I didn't even make it to
every
the
single
restaurant
time
before the gentleman's. I can't even get in the car to go to the gentleman's club, which is the third destination.
I get it. Not every group of bros has a good planner, and especially when you're younger, and especially if you get married in your 20s, because then not everybody has money and you're trying to do things that are kind of cost efficient. And you go, oh, like a baseball game with all the fellas and we all get shirts and we sit together and we booze and you go, yeah, no, this sounds good, but it's not. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah, especially you got hotel rooms around the stadium. Then all of a sudden guys are like, oh, I'm just going to go back to the hotel room for like 5 minutes. You go, I'll see you never again. Yeah. This might be the end of our friendship. Okay, I got to tell you this story before we break, because I got to get into one other thing in the other side of break. Okay. So the City Connect jerseys actually, when I first saw them, I thought that's the most terrific thing I've ever seen. Now I've seen them on the player. I actually like the hat a lot.
No, I don't like the hat.
I like the hat.
No, the hat, like, just, I don't know. Maybe it's like, it looks like the TTC logo, almost like obviously different colors. I don't like it. I like the jersey, though. I like.
Yeah, so I like it. I will say that whenever guys wear the red undershirt under it, it looks really skitty to me. Like Barrios, the look he had yesterday, I went, yeah, no, this is not. I just thought there's something about that look.
Didn't notice it.
Yeah, I'm not into that look in particular. But you know what I'm really not into?
What?
Actually, so I shouldn't have set it up that way. So I didn't go to the City Connect party. I screwed up.
Me too.
I know. I really regret it.
It was like coming into the city, which is such a nightmare.
Yeah. It makes sense for you. It made no sense for me. I chose to watch basketball. Like, I chose to watch the Minnesota Timberwolves game.
Free drinks and a free jersey.
I love the NBA. I really, and I thought.
What game was that?
It was Game 5. Anyway, I know it's embarrassing. I know.
I was like, wasn't that recently? Didn't we just come off 9 combined games in the conference final?
And people were asking me to go, and I was like, nah, I want to watch this game. And
you really thought the T-Wolves had like the first 3-0 comeback in them?
I was very curious to see what it looked like in that game, especially since Ant and Cat played really well on the road the game before, and I thought maybe they had found something. Anyway, there's no defending it.
40 in the first
There's no
half.
defending it. It's actually so embarrassing that I did that. Like, but one of the things at the City Connect party, because again, like, Lord knows he didn't do any work. Like, he was just like, I'm going to the party. I was like, yeah, don't worry. I'll work.
Armin.
Yeah. He goes, and one of the perks was that they gave out a free City Connect jersey if you're at the party. So it's like a free jersey, free hat too, or was it just the jersey?
Yeah, free hat too.
Okay, so anyway, he's there drinking, probably embarrassing himself in front of Jose Bautista. Joey Bats! Like, I could see you being one of the guys.
No, I didn't talk to any of the players. I let
you
them
didn't
do their
say
thing.
Joey Bats?
No.
You are the kind of guy. Can you at least admit?
I'm not the guy they want to talk to.
No. But can you at least admit that you're the kind of guy who would call him Joey Bats?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from a guy who did call Curtis Joseph Cujo in person.
I think that's different. And also, and also that was my. I was top 3 childhood hero, okay? I had a moment of weakness. And yeah, it was bad. It hurt me still to this day. Why'd you bring that up? It hurts my feelings. Anyway, yeah, I did. Hi, Cujo. Oh, sorry. He gets his jersey, and what he puts on the back of it.
No, not his last name.
Worse.
Definitely not worse, man.
Infinity worse.
Rogers.
First of all, he works here. So if you get that, the thought to me is, I'm giving this to somebody. Like, that's the automatic move is, how many times am I really going to wear this? Like, let me either,
Yeah, if I could get one for my kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They came in kid sizes. So, did they come in kid sizes? I feel horrible.
I didn't see that, Ben.
Whatever.
I don't have a kid to give it to.
No, but whatever.
If they came in kid sizes and I didn't go out and get them,
no.
I'm the worst.
Yeah, you actually are the worst, and it doesn't even matter if they come in kid sizes. Like, I still have a jersey that I'm waiting to give your kids, actually. It's gigantic, but it's one where I know they'll love it, and they love Matthews.
They have some outsized stuff that they wear as, like,
right, actually,
jammy gowns.
I can't give that to you. Maybe, and I can't give that to you today because you don't want to take that down the ballpark. But he put on number 10.
Vernon Wells?
DeMar DeRozan. He put DeRozan.
Wait, what?
He put.
Wait, what?
He put.
Wait, what?
DeRozan.
Wait, what?
He put DeMar.
Wait,
Double
what?
D Debo.
He put DeMar DeRozan.
Wait, what? Okay, there's so many layers.
It says Toronto on the jersey.
No, I know, but it's like
City Connect.
Yeah. No. So
he loved me like DeMar DeRozan.
Wait, what?
Do you hear him talk?
Wait,
just so
what?
everyone, just hold on. Everybody take 1 second here. Hold on. Nobody talk. If you're listening to this podcast right now, and you've ever been critical of me, and you've ever been like, man, JD, your takes are bad, or you didn't do like that's the person who produces my show. Like that. Hold on. My City Love Me Like DeMar. You heard that. You all heard him speak that way. That's my producer. That's the guy in charge of things. Like he has real responsibilities on the show, and he puts DeMar DeRozan on the back of a baseball jersey, drunk at a party, and then he comes on this show and he says, "City Love Me Like DeMar DeRozan." It's a miracle I get this thing out every day. Anyways, continue your thought now, Ben.
Okay, so my thought was not like, wow, that's horrible. It's like, that is very confusing because listen, who doesn't love DeMar DeRozan, right? And he's a sympathetic figure, but he's also like the avatar for mediocrity and like had to go.
Did
like,
you hear him on
and
the
the
podcast?
sacrifice,
DeMar.
he had to be thrown into the volcano, right? Like kind of like a nice footnote in the history of this franchise, and they'll retire. They'll retire his jersey. I know it's like, but
he's the leader in franchise points.
Sure, he had to go. He had to go for this franchise to realize its greatest moment.
Yeah,
and he's also a basketball player.
Yeah.
Well, it's on brand.
Hey, all the stuff you said, it's mostly that. It's mostly that. It's like, it's okay. Yeah, I know. No, it's honestly, when I first saw it, it broke my brain for a second when I was like, this is not, I thought it was like a mock-up. Or someone else did it.
Right.
And I went, oh, DeMar was at the party and he took a picture.
Yeah.
And
you're getting it for DeMar. DeMar
yeah.
I was going to the party.
No, can guarantee it's a one-of-one.
Yes.
Yeah. No question.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, you're the only guy.
Good take.
Yeah, which is just incredible. Yeah, I'm sure. Try to sell it. See what you get. I'm sure because it's a one of one, it will hold tremendous value that people will be clamoring for said DeMar DeRozan jersey. No, it's one of the, I would say, most aggressively bad jersey fouls I've ever seen.
It's just very confusing.
Yeah, no, it's like, and for it to even cross his
I know
brain.
you love basketball.
I know. Well, that's the thing. He doesn't know any baseball players.
So
he doesn't know a single baseball player. So he went to this thing, and he's a basketball guy, and he stared at this jersey.
Just leave it blank.
Of course, leave it blank.
Leave it blank.
I guarantee you, he didn't even know Vernon Wells was 10. I would bet my life on it. When he was putting that out, and they put number 10, and I would have said, "Freeze time. Who's 10?" He would have gone, DeMar DeRozan. That's it. And so he put a basketball player's name on the baseball jersey because he's the City Love Me Like DeMar DeRozan. I don't know. That was a great explanation.
Well, no, I met DeRozan when I was a kid. He came to the Armenian Community Center. I chopped it up with him.
Buy a DeRozan jersey.
Well, I got this for free, bro.
So what?
That's a big difference.
So that was your big homage to him, is that he came to the Armenian Community Center and you said, man, when I'm 30 years old, I'm going to go to a party.
Hey, I'm not 30 yet.
And I'm going to go to a party and I'm going to get a DeRozan jersey and put it on my Instagram. And that is how I will pay tribute. Anyway, we got a break. But yeah, you got to post it again. I'll put it on. I'll repost it, tag me. I'll put it on my Instagram at JD Bunkis. I can't note yours, but yeah. Oh my God. The best. The absolute best. Anyways, I only have a couple minutes here, but I did want to ask you this. So, did you see this report about how many people do not have an internal monologue?
That's insane.
Yeah. So they don't.
How do they think though? Do they think in images?
Can I tell you something? It actually gives me anxiety to think about. Tell us, Armin, what is it like?
No internal dialogue?
Yeah. No.
Oh, I'd be talking to myself all day. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there.
No, fam. It was a good jersey, fam. It's a good jersey, fam. It's a good jersey, fam. That's all day.
So they don't think in words? Is that what you're saying?
They don't have internal monologues. They don't. Yeah.
All I'm doing is and sometimes when I get stressed, it does get vocalized, but it's it's nonstop words in my head.
So I was thinking about something recently. I always need to have a rooting interest in sports. I can't really just enjoy a game without at least feeling as though I have some side in it.
Yeah, it's like gambling.
No, what I do gamble.
Yeah, I know.
And so I'm usually rooting for my gambling. But even if I don't, I'm like, who do I root for? And I'm rooting for the Florida Panthers in this series against the Oilers. I've settled in on. What do you mean?
I'm surprised.
But it's not a strong one. It's just that I won't be upset because if the Oilers win, I'm going to go, hey, tip the cap to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. The greatness of the player, I always root for greatness, but ultimately there's more part of me and I grew up in Western Canada too, so I think that there's a little bit I've added that, but I want the Leafs to be the first. I want the Leafs to be the only team to bring the cup back to Canada.
That's fine.
So it's just a slight lean. It's not like I'm going to be like living and dying with the Panthers or hating the Oilers, but I got a slight lean as of today with the Panthers. That might even switch because it's such a slight lean. And I feel the same way about this NBA Finals. Like hold on, we're going to go into the podcast here. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to take this conversation on the podcast because like, I want to know from people, shoot me on Twitter and Instagram, like if you have to have a rooting interest and whether you guys do, because I feel like I do. If I don't have any stake, I can't watch it anyways. Quick break and we'll come back and we'll do a pod.